Water is a basic need for every life on Earth and a very vital role for every living thing. Not only human, but also animal and even plants all need water to survive, such as drinking, helping the photosynthesis. The human body itself consists of 50 to 70% water, including that in the skin, body tissues, and all other organs. Therefore, no human can survive if they are dehydrated. Water, which is in the search of life on Earth, is changing all the time. Have we ever thought whether the water on Earth can run out if we ask it continuously? Let's count and imagine. Currently, Indonesia has a population of around 270 million. Every day, they need clean water to drink, an average of 3 liters per person. This means that 810 million liters of clean water are needed per day only for drinking, not for other activities such as washing, bathing, and cooking. Can you imagine how much clean water is needed in 1 month just for Indonesians? Where can we get that much water every day? Water itself goes through various stages and processes until it finally returns to its original form. We can find the answer by understanding what the water cycle or hydrological cycle is, which we will discuss in this video.
If interpreted in terms of language, hydrology as the science of water, which come from the Greek, so that hydrology can literally be interpreted as a branch of geography that studies various disciplines related to water. The hydrological cycle is the process of water coming from the atmosphere to the earth. Then the water will return to the atmosphere, and so the cycle continues onward. The water cycle itself is one of the biogeochemical cycles that occur on Earth with the aim of maintaining the amount and availability of water. The hydrological cycle itself not only aims to maintain water availability, but also maintains the intensity of rain. Not only that, the water cycle also helps maintain the weather and temperature on Earth so that everything remains in order. The water cycle also helps balance the ecosystem and keeps all spheres of life running properly. This cycle also goes through a long process before finally continuing without stopping.
There is water cycle process that we need to know, including the process of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, runoff, and infiltration. Look at the following picture of the water cycle. First, evaporation. Evaporation is the first stage that occurs in a water cycle, where at this stage there is evaporation of water in rivers and others. Rivers, lakes, and seas and other places are then considered as bodies of water, and the water that evaporates will become water vapor. The water in the entire body of water then evaporates to the heat of the sun, and the evaporation is also known as evaporation stage. Evaporation, more clearly, is the process of changing liquid molecules into gas molecules. Then water turns into steam. Evaporation that occurs itself will then cause the effect of rising water, which has turned into gas into the atmosphere. Sunlight as the main support in the evaporation stage, so that the hotter the light emitted, the greater the water molecules that are lifted into the air. The second is condensation. The condensation stage, where at this stage the water that has evaporated then turns into ice particles. The self-generated ice particles are very small and are formed due to the cold temperature at high altitudes in the upper atmosphere. The ice particles themselves then turn into clouds until the more the number of ice particles, the more black the clouds becomes. Condensation is a process of change that occurs into a denser form. The third, precipitation. The process of precipitation as the stage of melting clouds because they are unable to withstand the increasing temperature. At the stage itself, then one of the natural phenomena called rain or the fall or water droplets on the Earth's surface will occur. If the ambient temperature is less than 0 degrees Celsius, then there will be hail to snow. Number 4 is runoff. The runoff stage has another name for runoff, where at this stage the rainwater will then move. The movement that occurs from a higher surface to lower one with the previous through various channels. The channels in question include rivers, sewers, seas, lakes, and oceans. Number 5 in the water cycle is infiltration. Infiltration is the last stage in the water cycle. This stage is the stage where rainwater that turns into groundwater. Rainwater that falls to the earth itself doesn't completely flow as into runoff stage. However, it will also flow to the ground. This process of seeping rainwater into the soil pores is then referred to as infiltration and then turning to the sea as a whole.
The water cycle or rain cycle can be divided into 3 types based on the length and duration of movement of molecules. First, short cycle. Second, medium cycle. And the last, long cycle.
Okay guys, that's the discussion this time. A description of the process and the 3 types of hydrological cycles. Even touched water never runs out because there is a cycle that keeps repeating itself. It does not mean we can use water as we like, right? Because the water cycle is not an instant process. You know, the amount of water that returns in the form of rain is still far less than the water used by humans for daily life. Even that the water cannot run out. The water we can use for daily life is very limited, guys. So you must always be wise in using water. Yes.